for 80, 70 years and nothing else. Can you imagine? That's the Taghabun. That's the disillusion when you realize that, oh my God, what have I done? So we better awaken before it's too late, inshallah. The surah is gently and very efficiently and effectively, but very gently and compassionately waking us up and pushing us, nudging us to see the truth, look at it, and face the reality. And so this metaphor of bargaining, of tijara, of buying and selling is used a lot in the Quran. And here this taghabun, gain, loss, that's why it was translated usually as gain and loss, because it does have that meaning as well. I just wanted to use disillusion because it is a disillusioned bargain that we make. We give something like, I was given a very rare diamond. I think it's a fake. It's a piece of glass or something. So I just sell it for a very small price. That's what we do with our life. And on top of that, it's not ours, it's a trust.
But Yamina, there is something else going on.
Yes.
It's not like selling a diamond for cheap.
Of course, it's only whenever there is a metaphor, it's always very limited. It's only looking at only one small aspect.
But I'm saying the classical refutation to that is that you are asked to give up what you know and what you see and what you're experiencing, which for some people is a definition of the term reality, to that which you don't see, don't know, and cannot guarantee.
Oh, that okay. That's only when we have not followed the guidance, because I don't know if you noticed, but here, and I kept emphasizing the fact that in the Quran, especially when it comes to akhirah, the word yaqeen is used more than iman. الَّذِينَ هُمْ بِالْآخِرَةِ هُمْ يُوقِنُونَ, for instance. So it's not trusting without knowing anything. It is ghaib. It is iman bil ghaib, certainly. That I agree. However, that ghaib is not something that we don't have any access to, and therefore we blindly surrender. Because we ourselves, what we call ourselves, in this path, we will realize that what I call I, myself, is also a very small part of it is visible and accessible. And like the body, thoughts, even thoughts and feelings, maybe we can still grasp them. But there is something even more, and that's only the tip of the iceberg. All our body, our thoughts, our feelings, and everything is not me, because they keep changing, but they are all there to serve who I am. So that who I am is something that we will discover in that journey. And it's in life when we call what we call matter, even at a very physical level, what we think is what we know, and we think this is it, this is this. Actually, if you look at it, even if it's in its physicality, we reach a point where it's beyond what we can touch, what we can imagine, what we start, what people do in physics, having models and really we're imagining theories how to explain things. Those theories about atoms and things, they are not always, well, now it's not atoms, but like subatomic particles. No one saw those things. It's just the ways of explaining things that we see with things that we don't see, because the reality is that the unseen is, the seen is what keeps changing, coming and going. If you're looking at a screen, like a TV, and you're seeing things and watching, and it keeps changing, what do you assume? That somewhere they are producing them and broadcasting them. So because there is change, because it's changing all the time, then we know that there is a source where everything is coming from. And so we realize that everything that we see, the world of the seen, is only the iceberg of a small, tiny little thing of the unseen. And the unseen flows into the seen, and that flow is constant. And so it's not, when we believe in the unseen, it's not like then, there must be, probably, maybe. No, I'm sure. I am sure there is something. Not only I'm sure because everything is flowing, it's coming from it, but because in me there is something. How do I give an example? Okay, if right now I'm talking to you, I could say, well, I see human being, I see flesh and bones, therefore human being is flesh and bones. So right now I can't see that. I hear sounds, therefore sounds and thoughts, and maybe feelings. Let's say we add that, it doesn't matter. And that's what human being is. But we know that's not true, that there is something more. How? Because I have that something more, and I know that I'm interacting in you. You are not just we could make a robot that will also say words and have a physical body, but you feel that it's a robot. It doesn't have that soul, that heart, that whatever. And so when we interact with each other, we interact with something that there is a saying that the eyes are the window to the soul. We look at each other's eyes, and without words, without someone saying anything, sometimes you can feel the joy or the pain or the sadness when nothing was said. Those things are levels of seen and unseen. There is, of course, the relative unseen and the unseen, but they are all pointers indicating that reality is not what we see with or we connect with our five senses, because we have so many other senses that are not of that kind. So it's not about belief, iman. Iman is not like belief. It's having, I am sure. And akhirah, yaqeen. And that's why Ali radiallahu anhu says, even if the veil is lifted up, like in this life, he says, even the veil is lifted up, it will not increase my certainty, because he sees the reality of everything right now. For instance, if you see a flower coming up through a seed that didn't have life, earth that doesn't have life. Water and light don't have life. And then something living comes up and opens up and becomes something beautiful. Why do I call it beautiful? Why do I want to buy it and put it on my table? Why do I want to like to watch it? What is it that is binding us? We're not alien to each other. I love it, and I care about it, and I watch it, and I'm sad when it's wilting and dying, and I try to save it, and then I remember that, oh, life is not from it. So it is a mirror to the unseen. Something else, life is coming from something else. And so I ask, who is giving life to the seed, to this plant? And then I said, who's giving life to me? Who is binding us, connecting us together? So I like it. And I appreciate it. And so that witnessing is a witnessing as an inner awareness, consciousness. That witness is the witness inside. And it's a journey. Definitely there are many stages, but it's not without any evidence. It is with the evidence of all the ayat in the universe, in the creation, that we say there is no God, but there is no deity but God, there is no helper but Him, there is no creator but Him, there is no giver of life but Him, there is no giver of death but Him, there is no healer but Him. But one source, there is one source of healing. Healing, life is coming from somewhere else. That plant is not, it can't be alive of itself. How do I know? I know from myself. I don't know where my life is coming from. I can't sustain it. I can't maintain it. I can't keep it. It's given. When it leaves, it leaves. It's not under my control. And so it is an educated belief. It is based on certainty of mushahada, of observing and witnessing. And it is, the heart is satisfied. The heart knows without doubt. But it's not something that happens in the mind, like what we learn at school. It's not like solving a mathematical equation. It is a surrendering of oneself, because it's only if I own my life, if I imagine, if I fancy, if I am live in that ghafla, in that unawareness, unconsciousness, and I imagine myself to be the owner of my life, then everything else owns its life. And therefore, when someone says there is only one source of life and giving life, I say, what does it mean? Okay, we're Muslim, but that's what the Quran says, let's accept it. But I cannot confirm it in my heart and be sure and see the evidence and everything unless I myself surrender.
Thank you, Sister Maha, for bringing up such an important question, and thank you, Sister Yamina, for the for engaging with it and offering this response and explanation. Did you want to add something, Sister Maha? Okay, so I guess.
No, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot I was mute. I'm muting myself. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, Sister Yamina,
do we have a little time? Because I was thinking maybe next week we could finish this surah.
Is you like?
I wanted to mention this metaphor that's used in the Quran a lot, which is only a metaphor, like it's a way to facilitate to us, to make us understand something that is much more complicated. So it's the beginning, it's an ayah. Ayah means it's pointing to something. It's like when you have a sign saying to Philadelphia, it is not Philadelphia. You have to go, and Philadelphia is a big city, and you can take years trying to see it and understand it and see the people and everything in it. But it's a sign to it. And so here also, this metaphor, this word of buying and bargain, اشتروا, and tijara is used in the Quran. So it's pointing to a reality. That reality is not only about buying, it's much more than that, but it's the beginning. It helps us get into it. It's like Imam Nursi says, it's like a telescope. It helps you see something that's far, make it closer to the heart, makes it easier to start reflecting on until you get it without the words. You go beyond the words, inshallah. It becomes a living reality. And one of, when you think about the people who deny the ayat, and they deny and وَكَذَّبُوا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا, they deny and give the lie to our signs, they are destined for the fire, therein to abide, and how vile journeys end. And it reminds us of أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الْحَيَاةَ الدُّنْيَا بِالْآخِرَةِ. Those are the people who buy the life of this world at the price of the hereafter. And of course, this is only one aspect of what's going on, but it's a nice way of putting it. And of course, we want to really fully grasp what's going on. You have to stay with that reality in your own life and reflect on it. And inshallah, it will be, our reflection is a prayer, and the answers will be given to each of us according to our needs. And the bargain metaphor also is used like in Surat al-Baqarah, when أولئك الذين اشتروا الضلالة بالهدى والعذاب بالمغفرة كما أصبرهم على النار. It is they who take error, dalala, in exchange for guidance, and suffering in exchange for forgiveness. Yet how little do they seem to fear the fire? Like you're telling them the end is the fire, they still carry on, as if like why do they seem to fear the fire? Because those words don't resonate inside, in the heart. They're just words. We don't really get what this is telling us. What does it mean? They exchange error for guidance. It means they practically, in life, we are not following the guidance. That's what it means. They have, in another ayah, it says, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ اشْتَرَوُا الضَّلَالَةَ بِالْهُدَى فَمَا رَبِحَتْ تِجَارَتُهُمْ وَمَا كَانُوا مُهْتَدِينَ. They have purchased error in exchange for guidance. And neither has their bargain brought them gain, nor have they found guidance. So, like, instead of following, when we are not following al-huda, because guidance is the guidance, there is only one source of guidance. When we are not following it, then we are following it. Anything else is not guidance. And so anything else will not take us back to that destination, to that eternal destination. And therefore, our bargain will be in vain. There will be no gain. In another place, it says, يا أيها الذين آمنوا هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم. So, like, it's telling us this, but also in other parts, it's giving us the solution. Like, oh, you believe, shall I point out to you, shall I show you a bargain that will save you from grievous suffering? Which means in this world and in the life to come. You are, what's the solution? The bargain? You are to believe in God and his apostle and his messenger, and to strive hard in God's cause with your possessions and your life. This is for your own good, if you only knew. And in Surat at-Tawbah it says, Inna Allah ashtara, this is the one we all know. إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة. God has bought of the believers their lives and their possessions, promising them paradise in return. And it's beautiful because our lives and our possessions, I mean, we came to this world with nothing. Look at the babies. They have nothing. Everything is given to us. Our life is given to us. Yet we are told, if you sell it back to me, you will get paradise. Selling back means realizing that it is given back. Therefore, be grateful for it. Use it for the purpose it was given. And it's only when our life is used for the purpose it was created for that our hearts will find peace and satisfaction. Anything else will be very painful for the human soul. And so the next area, so the ayah 10 says, but as for those who deny and give the lie to our signs, they are destined for the fire, therein to abide, and how vile journeys end. And the next ayah is, any calamity that ever befall humans, does so only by God's leave, by God's permission. Hence, therefore, whoever believes in God guides his own heart towards this truth. And God has full knowledge of everything. This is beautiful because when we deny the signs, we say, oh, alhamdulillah, I like this, I like that. Okay, that's good. Of course, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient. When you don't like it, when very hard things are going on, when a calamity befalls us, are we aware that it's happening by God's will? So, to not deny the signs means to be aware that even calamities, any calamity that ever befalls humans, does so only by God's leave. ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله ومن يؤمن بالله يهدي قلبه والله بكل شيء عليم. And here, some understood it as whoever believes in God, he guides him, meaning God guides him. And that's for sure. That's, of course, guidance is always from God. But there is another way of understanding grammatically as well, correct, which is, and who guides whoever believes in God will guide his own heart. Meaning, if to believe in God means that calamities also are from God. Everything is from God. And calamities occur with divine will. Therefore, they occur, they happen, they're created for a higher, a broader purpose, because usually we think everything revolves around myself. And so if I don't like it, why is it happening? But even our own life, its meaning looks to something greater than what I can see. It looks to the hereafter, it looks to eternity. And it's related to everything else, like Yusuf alayhi salam. All what befell him was for him to learn that wisdom, and he was taught everything that at the end his wisdom saved not only the akhirah, but the life of all the people of his area. Like literally saved their life, because they had many years of drought. And had he not had that wisdom, had he not been prepared to receive that wisdom, because the wisdom Allah gives it to everyone, but only those who are prepared, who purified themselves, who did the work, who prostrate themselves, who know the reality, who don't run away from it, who know their ubudiyah, and therefore are aware of the ubudiyah, are open to receive, to reflect the ubudiyah, to receive the guidance, the wisdom to reflect it. And so he was a channel for that compassion, that generosity, that wisdom that helped all the people around him. So he could not have known from the beginning that it was not only about him, and he could not have understood why he had to go through all those seemingly very hard circumstances.
Sister Yamina, do you think we can pause sometime soon?
I'll stop here, inshallah.
Let's
just
stop
want
here.
to say, so unless we're convinced about this point, that calamities, everything good and bad, happen by God's will, we cannot truly trust and surrender to our Lord. Trusting, surrendering to Him means surrendering to what He wills. And part of what He wills sometimes is calamity. Like in these days, there are lots of calamities, and I'm sure it was always like that. I mean, this is life. What is also interesting here is that whoever knows this, believes in God this way, that everything is from Him, including calamities, then he guides his own heart. Like, guide his own heart here in the sense of he inclines towards guidance. He chooses to surrender. He chooses to be open to the guidance, because it's one thing that God guides us, but we have to guide our heart to that guidance, meaning to open it, meaning to be aware and accept and surrender. And it gives also here that how unique that guidance is to each and every one of us. It's like everyone is responsible to guide his heart to receive the guidance, because the guidance is going to take the hue and the form of your needs, of your heart, of your desires, and it's going to be unique to you. So you have, each one of us, I have to surrender so that I receive the guidance in my own term, in what I need, who I need to be, what I need to do. So even if someone else's give me all his wisdom, that wisdom is only going to help me when I am open to receive my guidance. It's only showing me the way. No one can take the burden off anyone else. No one can walk the path of anyone else. No one can live my life in my place. No one can go through a calamity from my perspective. So, and God knows everything, so there is no way to hide. So don't try to hide, don't try to run away. Let's not try to cheat. Just on the contrary, turn to Him for help, turn to Him for guidance, turn to Him for support, inshallah. And that's why, inshallah, we'll start with number 12 next time. And then it says, pay heed then unto God and pay heed unto the messenger. If you turn away, then our messenger's only duty is a clear delivery of this message. God, there is no deity except Him. In God, then let the believers place their trust. It just
Interesting. It's interesting that this surah that can be read in a completely dogmatic way, like, I mean, be truthful to God and listen to the messengers and da da da. It has a completely different meaning if you interpret it based on what we established as how you actually have to read Quran, like in the I mean, it has to be compassionate and it has to be aware of that what it means that God creates the world. Then it becomes really different, because then it means it goes, like it means then don't cheat yourself. It means like listen to what really is. So this being truthful to God is at the same time that you have to kind of be congruent to yourself. It's really about integrity.
Mm-hmm. Yes, inshallah.
And definitely not about some obeying the rules or some stuff.
That's part of it, but that's the rules there to sustain this. Because if I obey the rules and I have no idea why it is so,
and then it becomes cold and unlively, and then it's like giving in my name and giving in the name of God. So there's a complete difference. And I'm inshallah next time more. I mean, I need to think more about it.
It's just beautiful how everything fits together. MashaAllah, subhanallah. Thank you. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم أرنا الحق حقا وارزقنا اتباعه وارنا الباطل باطلا وارزقنا اجتنابه. اللهم اجعلنا من الذين يتوكلون على الله. آمين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Sister Yamina. And inshallah, if you have any comments, noted them down. Don't forget. We'll pick up where we left off today, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Thank you.